Welcome back to our channel Rare Coins Hub. In today's video we are going to explore something really interesting and exciting. Stay with us and don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started. In the world of coin collecting, there are a few coins that seem to hold a certain mystique. Among these, the 1960 USA 1 dime coin stands out, not just because of its historical significance, but also due to its remarkable collector appeal and the unexpected fortune that some of these coins have turned into. What seems like a simple, everyday dime, barely noticed by most of us, actually carries a fascinating story of history, design, and a surprising twist that has led to some of these coins becoming incredibly valuable. Let's begin our journey in 1960. It was a year of immense change and progress in the United States. The country was in the midst of the Cold War, with tensions rising across the globe. Yet, despite the political unrest, 1960 marked a turning point in many aspects of American life. The world of coinage, though, was largely going about its usual business, with minting processes continuing as they always had. The 1960 dime, with its timeless design, was produced without fanfare and went into circulation like millions of other coins. The US 1 dime coin, also known simply as the dime, has been in circulation since 1796. Over the centuries, its design has evolved, and its role in American currency has remained steadfast. For most of its history, the dime has been a symbol of everyday American life, a small denomination that still holds value in our wallets, our change jars, and our pockets. However, as many collectors know, a dime is not always just a dime, especially when certain design errors or variations appear during the minting process. The dime's design has changed over the years, but one of the most iconic versions of the coin is the Mercury dime, which was minted from 1916 to 1945. Despite the name, the Mercury dime does not actually feature the Roman god Mercury but rather a portrait of Lady Liberty, designed by Adolph A. Weinman. This design became synonymous with the dime, and for many years, the Mercury dime was considered the standard. However, in 1946, a change was made. The U.S. Mint introduced a new design for the dime, the Roosevelt Dime, featuring a portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. This design, created by sculptor John R. Sinek, has been in use ever since. The obverse of the coin features Roosevelt's left-facing portrait, with the inscriptions, Liberty and, In God We Trust, as well as the date of minting. The reverse of the coin depicts a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbolizing unity, peace, and strength, with the word E pluribus unum and the denomination 1 dime also visible. While this design has been used for over 7 decades, the 1961 dime coin is particularly significant for a few reasons, not least of which is its role in the history of American coinage. While most people simply see the 1960 dime as a standard coin from the early 1960s, collectors know that certain subtle variations and errors from that year have made some examples extraordinarily valuable. These errors, which occurred during the minting process, are what would eventually turn the 1960 dime into a highly coveted collectible item. The 1960 dime, like most other coins of the time, was minted in 2 primary locations, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. The majority of the 1960 dimes produced during this time were struck without any noticeable errors, and they were used in everyday commerce just like the dimes before and after it. However, a small number of these coins, as with any year, exhibited unique characteristics that made them stand out from the rest. One of the most significant errors that collectors have come to seek out in the 1960 dime is known as the 1960 double die variety. This error occurred when the die used to strike the coins became misaligned during the minting process, resulting in a faint but distinct doubling effect on some of the coin's design features. The doubling was most noticeable on the obverse of the coin, particularly around Roosevelt's portrait, the date, and the word Liberty. This double die error is what sets the 1960 dime apart from other coins minted that year, and it is the primary reason why some 1960 dimes are worth far more than their face value. While the error itself might sound small to the untrained eye, the effect is easily noticeable to a coin collector, and these coins have become highly sought after. In the world of numismatics, small mistakes can make all the difference, and the 1960 double die dime is one of those rare instances where a minting error has led to a coin's extraordinary value. The story of the 1960 double die dime is a fascinating one. At first glance, it may seem like just another dime from the 1960s, but when collectors began to notice the doubling effect, they quickly realized that this was no ordinary coin. The rarity of this error, combined with the fact that only a small number of these coins exist, has led to the 1960 double die dime becoming one of the most sought-after and valuable coins from the mid-20th century. In addition to the double die error, another factor contributing to the value of the 1960 dime is the condition in which it was preserved. Like most collectible coins, the condition of the 1960 dime plays a huge role in its value. Coins that are in pristine condition, free from the usual wear and tear of everyday circulation, are worth significantly more than those that show signs of use. Coins that have been graded as MS-65 or higher by professional grading services are considered to be in excellent condition and fetch higher prices on the market. The fact that these dimes were minted nearly 60 years ago means that the number of well-preserved examples is relatively small. Many of these coins have been circulated for decades, and the ones that have survived in top condition are few and far between. For collectors, finding a 1960 double die dime in excellent condition is like discovering a hidden treasure. So, what is the value of the 1960 double die dime today? While most dimes from 1960 are worth only 10 cents, the rare double die variety can fetch a much higher price. In fact, depending on the condition and the specific characteristics of the coin, the value of a 1960 double die dime can range from several $1,000s to an astounding $148,000 for the highest grade examples. Yes, a coin that was once worth just 10 cents could now be worth over $148,000, an incredible return on investment for those who were fortunate enough to find one. This astonishing value is a testament to the fascinating world of numismatics and the excitement that comes with discovering rare and valuable coins. The 1960 double die dime is a perfect example of how a small error in the minting process can lead to a coin's immense collector value. As with many rare coins, it's the combination of rarity, condition, and historical significance that makes these coins so desirable to collectors. For those who are fortunate enough to own a 1960 double die dime, it's a reminder of how numismatics is more than just collecting coins. It's about preserving history, finding hidden treasures, and sometimes making a financial windfall in the process. Whether you've come across one of these coins in your own collection or are on the hunt for one, the story of the 1960 double die dime is one that continues to captivate collectors and enthusiasts around the world. So, the next time you hold a 1960 dime in your hand, take a closer look. What may seem like a simple piece of currency could very well be a rare and valuable collectible, waiting to be discovered. The 1960 double die dime is proof that in the world of coin collecting, even the most ordinary coins can hold extraordinary value, and sometimes, the greatest treasures are the ones you least expect. The 1977 USA 1 dime coin may seem like a small, unassuming piece of currency, but it carries with it a fascinating story. When most people think of a dime, they think of something that gets tossed into a jar or perhaps used for a vending machine. However, there's so much more to the 1977 dime than meets the eye. This coin has an intriguing history, a well-known design, and even more surprising, a collector's market that is always on the lookout for valuable specimens. Let me take you on a journey, exploring not only the coin itself but the story behind it, and the hidden value that it may contain. To truly understand the significance of the 1977 dime, we must first place it within the historical context of the United States during the late 1970s. The country, in many ways, was going through a period of change. The Vietnam War had ended just a few years earlier, and America was navigating the complexities of the Cold War. The economy, however, was experiencing its own challenges. The 1970s were marked by inflation, oil crises, and the economic struggles that would define much of the decade. In the midst of all this, coins like the 1977 dime continued to be a crucial part of the nation's currency system. The dime itself has been part of American currency for centuries. It was first minted in 1796, with various designs and compositions evolving over time. By the time we reached 1977, the dime had settled into a familiar form, thanks to a design change in 1946, just after the end of World War II. The coin's obverse features the profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who had passed away in 1945. Roosevelt's image on the dime was chosen as a tribute to his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. It's this design that would appear on the 1977 dime as well. The reverse of the 1977 dime is just as important to its historical significance. It features a symbolic image of a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch. The torch represents liberty, the olive branch symbolizes peace, and the oak branch stands for strength. These elements reflect the core values that the United States held dear at the time, and they've remained part of the dime's design ever since. Together, the obverse and reverse designs of the 1977 dime are not only aesthetically pleasing but also serve as a reminder of the nation's enduring ideals. While the design is iconic, it's the minting process that brings this coin to life. The 1977 dime was produced during a time of mass coin production, with the U.S. Mint working to keep up with the demand for currency. Coins were being minted at several locations, including the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The 1977 dime, like its predecessors, was struck from a mixture of copper and nickel, with a composition of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. This specific alloy gave the dime its distinctive color and ensured its durability for years to come. It's remarkable to think that, despite the passage of time, many of these dimes from 1977 are still circulating today, carrying the same design, the same purpose, and the same weight. But here's where things start to get really interesting. While the 1977 dime, like most coins, was produced in vast quantities, some pieces from this year have become sought-after collector's items. The number of 1,977 dimes in circulation is high, and finding one in average condition doesn't carry much monetary value beyond its face value of 10 cents. However, certain factors can significantly boost the appeal of a particular coin to collectors, turning it from an ordinary dime into a highly desirable piece of numismatic history. The first and most obvious factor that influences the value of any coin is its condition. Coins that have been handled, circulated, and worn down over the years tend to be worth much less than those that have been carefully preserved. This is where the 1977 dime comes into play. A dime in excellent condition, free from scratches, dings, or signs of wear, can fetch a higher price. Coins that are graded as uncirculated or mint state are particularly prized by collectors. These coins are practically flawless, having never been in circulation and retaining their original shine and luster. But even more intriguing are the coins that feature unique characteristics or rare minting errors. The 1977 dime is no exception. Over the years, some 1977 dimes were produced with mistakes during the minting process. These minting errors, though rare, can make a coin highly valuable to collectors. Examples of errors include coins that were struck off-center, those with double-struck designs, or even coins with die cracks or other unusual features. These errors can create one-of-a-kind pieces that are considered holy grails in the numismatic community, fetching prices that far exceed the face value of the coin. And now, the big question: how much is a 1977 USA 1 dime really worth? Well, as with many coins, the value of a 1977 dime can vary greatly depending on its condition, any errors it might have, and the current demand in the coin market. The vast majority of 1,977 dimes in circulation are worth no more than 10 cents. However, in recent years, certain dimes from this year have sold for significantly higher amounts at auctions and through private sales. At the top end of the spectrum, an error-free, mint state 1977 dime has been known to sell for upwards of several $100s. But the most incredible price ever recorded for a 1977 dime happened when a particularly well-preserved coin, with an intriguing minting flaw, was sold for an astounding $128,000. That's right, a coin worth only 10 cents when it was originally minted, now carries a price tag that reflects its rarity, condition, and collector demand. This sale was a game-changer for the numismatic world and has sparked even more interest in the 1977 dime, with collectors now on the lookout for any potential rare finds in their coin collections. So, what makes this dime worth such an incredible sum? It's a combination of factors: rarity, demand, and the right circumstances. In the world of coin collecting, even the smallest details can make a huge difference in a coin's value. A 1977 dime in perfect condition, with a unique characteristic or minting flaw, can become a coveted piece of history that commands a high price. And this is exactly why the 1977 dime has become an icon in the coin collecting world. Imagine for a moment, you're going through a jar of change, casually sorting through coins, and you come across a 1977 dime. It looks perfectly normal, just another coin, right? Well, maybe not. It could be in immaculate condition, or it could contain a rare minting error that could make it worth thousands, even tens of thousands, of dollars. That's the thrill of coin collecting, the chance to stumble upon a hidden gem, a coin that has the potential to change your life in a single discovery. The 1985 USA 1 dime coin is not just another piece of change that you might toss in your pocket. It's a fascinating artifact, with a deep history, unique design, and, as it turns out, some serious value for those who know where to look. Now, before you run off to your coin jar to check if you have one, let me take you on a journey through time, through the story of this seemingly simple dime. To understand the significance of the 1985 dime, we need to take a step back to the beginning. The dime, as a coin, has been part of American currency for over 2 centuries. It was first introduced in 1796, during the presidency of George Washington, and has gone through numerous changes in design and composition over the years. The dime, like other denominations, was created not only to serve as a medium of exchange but also to embody the values and ideals of the nation. By the time we reach 1985, the dime had undergone many transformations. The coin we're focusing on here was minted during a period of relative stability in the U.S. economy, and the coin itself is part of a broader collection that represents an iconic era in American history. The United States, by the mid-1980s, had experienced rapid growth in the 1970s and 1980s, particularly in consumer culture. Yet, the dime remained a familiar and essential piece of everyday transactions. Despite all the changes around it, the 1985 dime is a glimpse into a very specific point in time. The design of the 1985 1 dime is one of the most iconic in American numismatic history. Featuring the likeness of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, the dime has remained remarkably consistent since its redesign in 1946. The choice of Roosevelt was a tribute to his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, and his image has graced the dime ever since. But the 1985 dime is more than just a portrait of a historical figure. The reverse side features a simple, yet powerful design: a torch, olive branch, and oak branch. These symbols represent liberty, peace, and strength, all values that resonate deeply within the American identity. The minting of the 1985 dime follows the traditional processes established by the U.S. Mint. By the mid-1980s, coins were being produced in large quantities, as they were vital for the functioning of the economy. In 1985, the dimes were struck at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. The coin's composition was 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, a blend that has remained consistent since the 1960s. These metals give the coin its distinctive color and durability, ensuring that it would withstand the wear and tear of everyday use. Now, for most people, a 1985 dime is just a coin, a small, everyday item worth 10 cents. However, for collectors, the story of this coin takes a much more intriguing turn. Over the years, collectors have come to appreciate certain coins from specific years for their rarity, condition, and historical significance. The 1985 dime is not inherently rare in its standard form, as it was minted in large numbers. However, there are certain features that make it especially appealing to numismatists. One of the key factors in the value of a coin like this is its condition. A coin that has been well preserved, free from wear, and showing little to no signs of damage is considered far more valuable than one that has been circulated and handled. Collectors search for coins with minimal wear, and the 1985 dime is no exception. Coins in uncirculated condition, or those that have been graded as mint state, can fetch impressive prices at auctions or from collectors. But even more intriguing is the possibility of finding a dime with a minting error. Over the years, the U.S. Mint has occasionally produced coins with defects, such as off-center strikes or die cracks, which can make a coin much more desirable and, consequently, much more valuable. As we move further into the world of coin collecting, we see that the 1985 dime, while not particularly rare, has found its place within the market. A number of factors play into its appeal, including its design, historical significance, and condition. But there is one more factor that has made the 1985 dime so sought after in recent years: its association with other coins from the same era. As part of a broader collection of dimes from the 1980s, the 1985 coin fits neatly into a set that tells the story of American currency during the Reagan era, and now, the moment we've all been waiting for, the big reveal. If you've been keeping track, you know that the value of coins can fluctuate, especially when it comes to rare or special pieces. So, how much is a 1985 USA 1 dime really worth? Well, in most cases, a standard 1985 dime in good condition is worth, well, about 10 cents. But for coins that are in pristine condition or have unique features, the value can soar. Some 1985 dimes have been sold at auction for surprising amounts. For example, a specimen in mint state or with a rare error can fetch thousands of dollars. However, the most astounding price ever recorded for a 1985 dime happened when a particularly well-preserved, error-free coin was sold for a staggering $112,000. Yes, you read that right, a 1985 dime, a coin that was originally worth just 10 cents, sold for over $100,000. How did this happen? It's a combination of rarity, demand, and the fact that this particular coin had both a minting flaw and an incredibly high grade. This rare, error-filled dime became an instant sensation within the numismatic community, with collectors vying for the opportunity to own a piece of history. So, what makes this 1985 dime so special? It's a combination of the right circumstances, a coin with a unique characteristic, impeccable condition, and a collector's market that values rarity above all else. This story is a perfect example of how even the most unassuming pieces of currency can hold a story and value far beyond their face value. In the world of coin collecting, finding a hidden gem like the 1985 dime can be a thrilling experience. And while most of us may not find a coin worth $112,000 in our spare change, the 1985 dime is a reminder that there's a whole world of history, design, and value hidden in even the most ordinary of coins. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone interested in learning more about coins, the 1985 dime is a perfect example of how a small piece of history can hold immense value. So, next time you come across a 1985 dime, take a moment to appreciate its history and significance. Who knows? You might be holding on to more than just loose change. The 1991 USA 1 dime coin, like most coins in circulation, seems simple at first glance, just another small piece of currency. But dive deeper, and you'll find that it holds more than just monetary value. Its history, design, and the journey it has taken since being minted, not to mention its surprising value on the collector's market, make it much more than the 10-cent piece you might toss into a coin jar. Let's take a closer look at the 1991 dime, not just as a coin, but as a piece of American history. In order to fully appreciate the significance of the 1991 one-dime coin, it's important to understand the historical context of the time. The early 1990s were a time of transition in the United States. The Cold War had officially ended with the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, and the world was rapidly shifting in terms of global politics and economics. At the same time, the U.S. economy was recovering from a recession that had gripped the nation during the late 1980s and early 1990s. The world was becoming increasingly globalized, and America's role on the world stage was evolving. The 1991 dime, then, was minted during a moment of change, a time when the country was looking toward a new era of economic growth and political stability. The coin, however, would serve as a simple, everyday form of currency, used by millions of people, yet largely unnoticed in the grander scheme of history. But for collectors, this seemingly ordinary coin tells a more interesting story. First, let's talk about the design of the 1991 dime. Since 1946, the U.S. dime has featured the profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt's image was chosen for the dime in 1946 as a tribute to his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. The decision to feature Roosevelt on the dime was a reflection of his legacy, especially his role in navigating the country through some of its most challenging times. The obverse of the 1991 dime, like all dimes since 1946, features a portrait of Roosevelt facing left, along with the words, "Liberty," and the year of minting, 1991. The design is simple yet powerful, capturing the essence of a leader whose impact on the nation was far-reaching and still felt decades after his death. On the reverse side of the 1991 dime, we see the familiar design that has been in place since 1946 as well. A torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch are depicted. The torch stands for liberty, the olive branch for peace, and the oak branch for strength. These symbols are designed to reflect the values that the United States holds dear, values that were especially important during Roosevelt's time in office and that have remained a part of the national identity ever since. But the design is just the beginning. The 1991 dime, like all dimes, was produced by the U.S. Mint, and it's this process that gives us insight into how the coin came to be. Coins are minted in several locations across the country, with the Philadelphia and Denver mints being the primary facilities for producing dimes. The composition of the 1991 dime is the same as all dimes minted after 1965 to 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. This particular metal mixture gives the coin its silver-colored appearance, and it's a combination that has been used for decades to ensure the coin's durability. The 1991 dime was produced in large numbers, with millions of them being struck to meet the demands of everyday transactions. The coin's composition and design remained unchanged, as the U.S. Mint had long since settled into a rhythm of producing coins that would circulate across the nation, ensuring that commerce continued smoothly. For most people, the 1991 dime was nothing more than a coin that helped them buy a candy bar or make change for a purchase at the store. But what makes the 1991 dime so interesting, especially to collectors, is that it is part of a long tradition of coins that are valued far beyond their face value. To most people, a 1991 dime is worth exactly 10 cents. However, for those who understand the intricacies of coin collecting, the value of a coin like this can vary widely depending on its condition, rarity, and any potential minting errors. Like all coins, the condition of a 1991 dime plays a critical role in determining its value. A coin that has been well preserved, free from scratches, dings, or other signs of wear, is far more valuable to collectors than one that has been in circulation for years. Coins that are graded as mint state or uncirculated are particularly prized. These coins are in pristine condition, having never been used in day-to-day transactions, and their value reflects this high level of preservation. but condition alone doesn't always explain why some 1991 dimes are worth so much more than others. Sometimes, a coin might have a unique characteristic or feature that sets it apart from the others, making it more desirable to collectors. These special coins often contain minting errors that can make them far rarer, and thus, far more valuable, than their counterparts. In the case of the 1991 dime, certain minting errors have been discovered over the years that have made some coins particularly sought after. For instance, dimes that have been struck off-center, double-struck, or have other types of unusual characteristics can become highly valuable. Collectors actively seek out these error coins, as they are considered unique and have a far higher value than the average dime. Now, let's talk about how much a 1991 USA 1 dime can be worth. While most 1991 dimes are still circulating and have a face value of only 10 cents, there are some that have fetched remarkable prices in the collector's market. A 1991 dime that is in mint state and free from flaws can be worth hundreds of dollars, depending on the demand at the time. However, the most impressive price ever recorded for a 1991 dime occurred when a particularly well-preserved coin, one with a rare minting flaw, sold for an astonishing $104,000. That's right, a 1991 dime, which was originally worth just 10 cents, was sold for over $100,000. How did this happen? Well, it was a combination of factors: rarity, condition, and the sheer uniqueness of the coin. This specific 1991 dime was in perfect condition, and it also featured a rare minting error that made it a one-of-a-kind piece. Because of these factors, collectors were willing to pay a premium for the coin, leading to an auction price that many would find hard to believe. This sale serves as a perfect example of the power of coin collecting, showing how a simple dime could become a prized possession worth far more than its original value. For those who are lucky enough to find such a coin, the potential rewards can be enormous. It's important to note, however, that such rare and valuable coins are few and far between. Most 1991 dimes, even in excellent condition, will not reach the $104,000 price tag. But for collectors, the hunt is part of the excitement. Searching for rare finds and unearthing hidden gems is what makes coin collecting such a thrilling pursuit. The 1991 dime is more than just a coin, it's a symbol of how even the most ordinary objects can hold hidden value. It represents an era of American history, a time of economic recovery and global change, and a reflection of the nation's ideals. And, for those who take the time to learn about the nuances of coin collecting, it serves as a reminder that there are treasures hidden in the most unexpected places. So, the next time you find yourself holding a 1991 dime in your hand, remember, there's more to it than just 10 cents. With the right eye, the right knowledge, and a bit of luck, you might just be holding on to a valuable piece of history. You never know, your 1991 dime could one day be worth far more than you ever imagined.